Yo, 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 what is going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and oh my gosh, this is a day of days, boys and girls. You already know your boy has been waiting to put out a top 25 strongest kingdoms list forever. Again, finally, we have access to home kingdoms, and that means we have access to home kingdom leaderboards. And so in today's video, we're going to show you the current top 25 strongest kingdoms in the game, and as always, a couple disclaimers that I have to get out of the way, but before that, if you enjoy the content, make sure you throw us up, because it helps out a lot. So disclaimer number one, this data was pulled from kingdoms that are currently in home kingdom phases. And for those of you that are curious on which kingdoms boss are in the home kingdom phase, well, they're all the ones here that you see I have data for. So, 11 through 20, 21. That we have here. We have the next group, which starts here at 91 all the way through 212. We have 241 all the way through 276, 289 all the way through 316, and then we have a couple right here, which is 351 and 356. So those are the kingdoms that this is going to be covering. Number two, always remember that any data that you see here can be adjusted, whether that's weaker or stronger after the video is released, again, because numbers can be fluctuating in those kingdoms. Number three, if you want to get access to this sheet, this is my master sheet, but I put out a public version of the sheet along with the ultimate migration resource that I just showed off. You can access that on my Discord. Link to that in the pinned comment description down below. You'll join the Discord, you go to reaction rolls, fourth from the left, and then you'll scroll down here to Call the Dragons, you'll go to data stats, and the public version of the spreadsheet that I'll be showing you today for the top 25 kingdoms in the game is number one. The one we showed you for the best migration recruitment resource is number 6 that you can find there. Okay, with I think most of that out of the way, and I'm probably going to end up forgetting about some disclaimers after the video ends, but I at least want to try and put out some of the major ones there in the beginning. Let's get into it. Oh yes, sorry, the big last one I'm going to mention is, and this is kind of already mentioned in the earlier one when I talked about which kingdoms are specifically having access to home kingdoms. So this is kind of the debut to what eventually will be when I do this next month, which is where hopefully we'll have all of the kingdoms in home kingdom, or at least a bigger group, to where next month's will be from a larger pool, and then potentially 2 months from now is when I'm hoping we'll have all the kingdoms finally in home kingdom, and then we'll have kind of the true test, if you will. So let's go ahead and start, and here we go. Pretty excited. At number 25, we have Kingdom 109. They came in at 13.8 billion power. Now, let me get some tidbits out of the way. I like to look at the top 7 alliances because I very much believe that the deeper you go in the pool, the more accurate it's going to be. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. I can either go off of like a top 6, a top 7, or I can also go off alliances that have an active number of players in them. So an example in this screenshot is, like, if I saw an alliance that had like 20 million power or something like that, right? It's probably likely that the player who's in there may or may not be active, compared to if it's like a million power, like a billion powered alliance, right? Where you're probably going to assume at least some players are active in there. So to kind of just eliminate any of that margin, I just like to go a little bit wider or deeper in the pool. And so for now, we're just doing a top 7. Can that potentially change going forward? Possibly, but at least that's the way we're going to do it for now. Range is the power differential between 1 and 7, so you're just minusing the number 7 power from the number 1 power, and then we also talk about how many active alliances there are, and that's based on full alliances, or almost full alliances, as I talked about in my migration recruitment resources sheet. So 109, let's get to number 24. We have 244. And maybe I'll add like what season. So if you guys would like other columns to be added here, let me know in the comments below. 14.7 billion power, where you can see the board, and maybe I'll even include a picture of like the zone 3. So if you guys want me to do something like that, maybe we'll have 2 pictures in here instead of just 1, or maybe it's a picture of the top players, top alliances, and then the zone 3 for how that looks, maybe. Or maybe the King 2 as well. Let me know what you guys are thinking on that one. But we have 1 to power. Range is 6.69 billion. We have 2 active alliances here. And again, pretty balanced in power. So you guys know me. I'm a very big advocate. I love seeing balanced kingdoms. And so to me, this is sexy, man. I love what 244 is doing. So shout out to the TG fam. Together we are strong. Yeah, I mean, you kind of are. All right. At number 23, we have 116. 14.9 billion. We have a range of 11.6 billion. We got one active alliance here. And again, that's based on full. I'm sure there's some active people in Seoul, right? But just not enough to where you'd say that's a full alliance. At number 22, we have Kingdom 17 here. Coming in at just a little bit over 15 billion power for top 7. We have a range of 11.8 billion. One active alliance here, which is ED. So welcome. We get to number 21. We have 243 here. 15.2 billion for their top 7. Range is 6.34 billion. 2 active alliances with IFAP and TG. So welcome. And again, not too far away, less than a billion power differential. So hopefully they'll keep working on that and we can eventually claim them as balanced. I love it. Love what we're seeing. Then we get to 171 at number 20. And here we have a 15.28 billion power. Range here is 7.34 billion. 2 active alliances, though. So, yeah, nice to see 171. Appreciate you guys. Ascendant's top alliance there. Then we get to 193 for number 19, which is 15.9 billion power. You can see number 1, strongest alliance. And again, keep in mind, some of the numbers may differ, right, because I have to go through and pull the data first, then I go back and take screenshots. And then we have a range here of 8.65 billion, 1 active alliance with E, Squiggly, and Eternal Nightmare. And then we have at number 18, 274, 15.95 billion, range is 6.25, 2 active alliances here with GTX. And again, they're within 200 million of each other. I love seeing this, man. I'm such an advocate for balanced kingdoms. So happy to see that we have some of them in the top 25. This is dope with GTX and OQ. Let's get to number 17. We have 267, 16.33 billion power. We have a 9.38 billion range with 1 active alliance, which is, again, RAC catching fire. And again, like we've talked about, right, I'm sure there's some active people in SRF, right, but just not enough to where it's a full or near full capacity alliance with actives all around. Then we get to number 16, 134. At 16, let's do this, 16.38 billion power. Again, range here is 15.232 billion power, 1 active alliance. Here, LTS Legacy of Spartans, you can see, right, kind of running the mega line structure, very similar to what we're already seeing for a number of kingdoms, and what is pretty standard, even though you guys know how I feel about that. But we have 16 point, and again, it's no slight to them or anyone else. It's just you guys know I'm always a more advocate for balance rather than imbalanced kingdoms, because I just think there's a lot more net positives. 16.46 billion power for top 15. As we get into number 15, range here is 10.056 billion. We have 2 active alliances, though. All right, even though it is a bit imbalanced, right, with CMAR, Chill, Martians being number 1. Let's get to number 14, 271 at 17.02 billion power. We have number 1, number 7, and the range 7.56. 2 active alliances, though, right, with URC until Rev Complete being at the top. And then we get to number 13 at Kingdom 117, 17.15 billion power, 9.19 for range. 2 active alliances, though. Number 1, SHPS Steel Hell Pirates, leading 117 there. Then we get to number 12, which is 183 at 18.23 billion power, range 11.68 billion. 2 active alliances, though, here with GLR Glory leading out 183 there. Then we get into 265 for number 11, 18.58 billion. This is a pretty youngish kingdom here, at least compared to the group. Range 10.58 billion. We have 1 active alliance. Again, you can make the argument here, but kind of based on this, I think we ended up saying like 5 bill was what we were looking for. But, you know, again, keep in mind, we're also going off of full active alliances as well, right? So how close are you to that, or are you that? And, right, that I just think is important, at least as long as we're consistent. That's the most important thing, right? I always feel like whatever criteria you go off of, as long as you have a good justification, a good reasoning, and you're consistent on that throughout, right, that's the most important thing. Then we get to our top 10. At number 10, Kingdom 96, 19.06 billion power, range is 16.84. We have 1 active alliance for the most part, which is EDS Eternal Dragons. And then we get to number 9 as we break in a little bit more now to the top 10. We have 19.24 billion power. Range is 9.70. We have 2 active alliances here, though. And again, pretty close in power from 140, right? They are about 800 mil away from each other, but at least under a billion this is pretty darn close to being balanced. It's not close enough to where I would say like, this is like a lot more balanced, has, at least for how I would like to try and see it be. But this is a great start, and I love the fact that we have a kingdom in the top 10 that is promoting more of a balanced approach rather than what we would usually see in kingdoms, which is just kind of by default more of an imbalanced approach. So again, man, shout out to 140, sexy and awesome to see. Keep doing you, boo-boos. Let's get to number 8. We have 153, 19.26 billion power. Range is 8.975 from 1 to 7. 2 active alliances, and again, right, about a billion power difference, a little more than that for 1 to 2, RC and MR. So nice to see. Again, man, keep pushing that. I love to see that balance. Let's look at Kingdom 108 at ranking number 7, 9.30 billion power. Range is 11.8 billion. 2 active alliances here, but again, a pretty wide range with the squiggly Hail Infernal Legion leading out 108. Let's get to number 6 at Kingdom 15, 19.66 billion power. Range is 17.328. 1 active alliance, again, BTR. This is Biggie Tron. And I watched a video someone sent me, and that's how it sounded to me. If I butchered it again, just know it is never on purpose. I love you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to cry later. Number 5. Breaking into number 5. At numero 5, we have Kingdom 206. 19.68 billion power. Range here is 6.977. 2 active alliances here, and pretty close, a bill power away. But you can see here that even the 3rd alliance isn't bad for 206, right? And again, just showing you kind of what that spread looks like and how high they are on the power list, right? Now, one of the things I would like to do eventually is like a T5 list. So like which kingdoms, like if we're just adding like T5 power, right? How does that look? So that's an idea I have too as well. Would love to hear what you guys think on that one. Then we get to number 4, which is 147. They're at 19.77 billion. Range is 10.74 billion. 2 active alliances here, though. And again, about 2 billion power difference. We got Lit and BRN. Again, number 2 getting close to number 1. If we get a little bit closer, something magical might happen somewhere around my body. But really just more of a platonic and PG way, if you know what I'm saying, because I'm excited when I see some balance. Okay, number 3. We have Kingdom 156, 21.12 billion power. Now, remember, we were at 19.7, so we jammed right past 20 billion and went 21 plus. Range is 12.69 billion. We have 2 active alliances here, though, with BNR. Now, this stands for Brothers Everywhere, from what I was told by someone in BNR. And then we have BR-H. So, again, number 3, 156. Good stuff. Let's go to number 2. The number 2 strongest kingdom in the game right now is Kingdom 205, 21.3 billion power. Range is 9.83 billion. 2 active alliances here. And this is just sexy. I'm going to lie, man. Am I having a little bit of a braingasm right now in kind of a PG-13 kind of way? It's more than that. But this is lovely. So we have the Immortal Fam here at 9.9 and 9.7. They're within 200 million power differential from each other. And it looks like even trying to build out a 3rd alliance. This is hot. This is, man. This makes me want to go butter my popcorn all the way. So I'm excited. Really happy to see this. So Kingdom 205, keep doing you. Boo-boo. I think it's fantastical. And the number 1 strongest kingdom of the game right now is Kingdom 110. And they're at 21.8 billion power at the moment. Range here is 11.68 billion from 1 to 7. We have 2 active alliances here with ROG and ROV. And again, they're 3-ish, right? Almost 4. I guess a little less than 4. 3.8 billion power differential, right? So they're not too close, but they're not too far away either. And it looks like trying to build out the 3rd alliance as well. And this rounds out your top 25 strongest kingdoms at the moment for our debut inaugural release based on the current kingdoms that have a home kingdom available to them at the moment. So I'm planning to do a lot here. In conclusion, I'm going to do things such as, like which kingdoms have actually captured Flame Dragon at the moment, right? So which kingdoms have a king or queen currently, which ones don't. how many dead kingdoms there are. We're planning to do how many, which kingdoms are the most balanced, which ones are the most imbalanced. Like I said, I think I want to try and do, like which kingdoms have the most amount of T5 players, then maybe doing some tier breakdowns from that as well. A number of things that I'd love to do. And if you guys have any ideas out there on different things you'd like to see from across the game in a number of kingdoms, let me know. Right? I'd love to add it to my list if it's something that I think, a number of people would enjoy. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you like this format, if you like this presentation structure, or if you'd like to see some other things added, let me know. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch y'all later.